Mercy Johnson made me do this. Yvonne Jegede had just come out to explain herself and the recent reactions of everything going on. But it's not what you're thinking. So I want you to sit tight and watch this till the end. If you're just joining us, please, thank you. Give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't. Yvonne Jegede had just come out to explain more than we know. Mercy Johnson made me do this. Well, before we dive into what Mercy Johnson made Yvonne Jegede do, let me tell you a little bit about Yvonne Jegede. Yvonne Jegede is a Nigerian actress, and she hails from Edo State in Nigeria, and started featuring in movie like scarcely in 2004. She acted a few roles and decided to take a leave and go study in Cyprus. So she flew abroad, studied, and bagged her bachelor's degree in international relation. Yes, that's what she studied, and came back to Nigeria in full force to take her place in the movie industry. So she went back to Nollywood, started acting, and actually came to a limelight in 2012 after featuring in a very prominent movie. So, what you might not know about Yvonne Jegede is that Yvonne Jegede actually got married to the popular, legendary Nollywood actress called Buki Ajayi. I don't know how many of you know that, okay? So, she got married to the son of this noble woman, and the interesting thing about their marriage is that Yvonne Jegede explained that before they got married, they were friends for a whole 14 years, almost a decade and a half. Okay, so sit tight and listen to the interesting part of this story. Yvonne Jegede and Mr. Olakunle Fawoli were friends for 14 good years, and she said that what actually attracted me to their family is the mom, because the mom is a good actress, she's a legend, and everybody admires her. And because Yvonne growing up didn't really have the love of a mother, she got attracted to this woman. She said, I will go to their house, sit for hours looking at this woman. I'm like, oh, this woman. So she was like her role model and she admired her a lot. So she said all the while she went to the house for a whole 14 years, she and the son were just friends, because all along she all along the way she had her own relationship, and the son has always done his thing. So they were just friends. But she will always call the mother, mama, are you at home? I'm coming over, do you want anything, things like that. But then she will go spend time with the mom, gist with the guy and everything, and at the end of the day she leaves. Sometimes she talks to the guy about her relationship with her own boyfriends, and the guy will also discuss certain things with her, and they were just cool like that. Okay, they make jokes, and they were just like, okay, they became like real good friends, and that lasted for a whole decade and a half, because 14 years is almost like 15 years, so that's a decade and a half. So one thing led to the other, and feelings begin to grow. So they started developing feelings for each other, and eventually they got married. So Yvonne Jagede said it was so good, and she felt like very secured, because this is somebody I've known for 14 years. Like, something going wrong in this marriage will almost be impossible. Okay, so she was happy. They did their court wedding, they did their church wedding, and it was simple but very classy, and everybody was happy. The whole Nigerians were happy for them, and everybody were rooting for them. So they continued, and just barely after after a few months, less than 1 year, rumors started creeping from here to there, like, oh, Yvonne Jegede has moved out of the husband's house, Yvonne Jegede's marriage has hit the rock. And everybody was like, oh my god, this is a rumor, this can never happen, because the marriage is just like few months old. And what are you trying to tell me? Like, people that have known themselves for almost for over 14 years? No. So Everybody was like, news were everywhere until Yvonne Jegede herself came out to say, yes, I moved out of my husband's house, and my recently, um, founded family, my recent wedding has just crashed. That's when everybody begin to look at it. Oh, so this is true. So she came out to say herself, yes, it is true. And that's the reality. She said, I don't see, unfortunately, and the interview she granted, you could see the tear, like the tears forming in her eyes. Unfortunately, it didn't work. It crashed. I don't see the marriage, going further. I don't see us like moving beyond this point, which it was sad. But anyway, what happened then? Listen. So Yvonne Jagede said, Yvonne was 35 years at the time of this marriage. So, I wouldn't say she's a baby. She's like a well-formed adult. And also the husband was about 43 years. So the husband was like 8 years older than her. So what could have happened? So Yvonne said, oh, because my husband is such a person that, when you're dealing with him and something goes wrong, you know how you come out to say, oh, this or that is wrong, and you just move on. No, my husband is not that kind of person. He likes to keep malice. He has a degree in keeping malice. He can stay without talking to you for a whole month. And she said, Yvonne Jagede said, I'm not wired that way. I'm not formed that way. She said we had a little misunderstanding, and then he started keeping malice with me. Every little thing brings problem. Even when I call him the usual names like I used to call him before we got married, when we were friends, he picks offense over it. So Yvonne was like, what is going on? I'm still the same person. Like, what the hell is going on here? But anyway, that's not actually the main thing that made her to move on finally. Let me tell you. So she said, the malice continued, and I will come and say, oh, what is this, what is that, oh, I have this, are you interested in this? He wouldn't respond. So, and she said, I can't stay in a house without talking to the person that I'm in the house with. Like, who should I talk to? Like, post her pictures? So she said it was driving me crazy. First of all, she didn't move out. She started, like, she said, I will go out. I was already pregnant, and I will go out to my friend's house, like stay there just to know if, if my husband is going to call me, or if not for anything, for the sake of the baby. Like, if I just go out to know if, he's going to say, oh, have you eaten? If you're not ready to eat, but don't starve my baby, things like that, that normally men will say to their wives. She said he wouldn't call. She would stay out for 12 till 12 midnight. He wouldn't give a damn. He don't give a damn about her or the baby. So that got her thinking, and it was creeping into her psychological being, and she started thinking, I better move out before I go crazy in this house. So she said that what made me move out. Okay, after she moved out, she continued with the pregnancy, nurtured the pregnancy. She said, my husband never called me for one day, not to ask about me, not to ask about the baby. When the pregnancy was about due, I decided I have to fight for my baby. I have to, make him have a better life. So I decided to fly to the United States to have my baby. So I went there. I financially, I had to clear my account to be able to make that happen. I paid through everything by myself. My husband, not even when I put to bed, my husband never called me. He never called to ask after me, neither me or the baby. He never called. So, well, I decided to say I'm not going to force him. So I stayed all the time in the United States, had my baby. It was like a trying moment for me because I needed the love. It was my first time. I needed all the love, encouragement, and everything. There was none coming from a mother because I don't have one, and there was none coming from my closest person, which was supposed to be my husband. So I really felt terrible. But anyway, it passed, and I had my baby and returned back to Nigeria. I made it clear to everybody that this man has a property in this house, so nobody should ever stop him from coming in. Nobody should question him. He can come to my house whenever he wants, and he is free to go in and out as he pleases. But this man never surfaced even for one day after I had my baby. Then another rumor crept in. Oh, she had a baby. She was impregnated by another man. That's why the husband is not coming around. She was flirting around. She was this, she was that. Like, she said, it was too much. I couldn't take it. Well, I placed a call through to this man and said, I know you don't care about me. I know you don't care about the baby, and that's fine. But the only thing I want you to know is this. You see all the rumor going around that this is not your baby. I got impregnated by another man, and you alone know the truth. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. If you don't come to see your baby and acknowledge your fatherhood over him, I'm going to remove your name and change his name totally. He's not going to be your name anymore. So he said that was the only thing that made this man come around, see his baby for the first time ever. And that was when the baby was already 5 good years. Oh my God. Oof, some people have mind. So that was 5 years of the baby growing up without a father. So he came around and snapped pictures, then posted it on online, and then that's when people knew that he acknowledged the baby and the rumor started dying down. Okay? But since after then, he never came back. He never showed up till date. So, what kind of human being is that? What is it in the world that could make a man like forget his son like that? I don't know. And you know what they always say, marry your best friend, marry your best friend. Don't forget, I'm going to tell you like what Mercy Johnson made Yvonne Jegede do, okay? They say marry your best friend, marry your best friend. They were best friends for 14 years. What could have gone wrong? And that is what that thing I always say, you that wear the shoe know like the best where it hurts you. Because when they were in this relationship, when they were friends, you know, uh Mr. Fawole was dating other people while Yvonne was also dating other people. And they will come to share their experience. And trust me, they will always find a way to support each other through. It means that probably the women that the guy was dating, Yvonne's husband was dating then, was going through the same thing, but Yvonne couldn't see that. Yvonne probably will always think that those other women are difficult till it comes close to you, then you know how it feels. The same thing with the guy. He would always think that, oh, these other people that Yvonne was dating all those time, they were difficult men. Until it comes close to you, you feel it. Well, so the marriage crashed, and Yvonne till date has been taking responsibility of the child till today. And she said everybody is telling me when the child is 18, he will look for his father. And she said, my son is not a bastard. I know whom I'm raising. If somebody is sitting chilling somewhere thinking that the child is going to be 18 years and is going to come look for you, I'm the one raising my child, and I'm not telling him anything bad, but I assure you my child is not a bastard. He knows everything. Okay, so what was it that Mercy Johnson made Yvonne to do? Let me tell you, recently Yvonne went to this podcast and started, running her mouth, even though she apologized later. And apology thrives over everything. She has said she's sorry, and some of us accepted it, and some people said it's a no. Well, so Yvonne said, Yule Dochie, she doesn't know why people are trolling Yule Dochie in all at online space, because Yule Doche is no different from Ned Nwoko. And that got everybody thinking and worried, like, how could this lady say such thing even after she has suffered as a single mother, and said how difficult it is for her raising her child by herself. You acknowledge and defend a man who has abandoned 4 kids and the wife of her youth 18 years. So everybody was trolling this lady like it was bad. It was bad. I think the pressure got so worse, and she had to put off her comment section. But trust me, people didn't stop. They just continued talking about it and trolling her. And then she had to come out and apologize. She apologized to May Edochie, and apologized to Nigeria as a whole, apologized to every woman, and she said that wasn't my intent, and I never meant to, increase the pain of a woman who is suffering in such manner. I'm sorry, I mis articulated my words and all that, and it was fine. But then what Mercy Johnson made her to do is actually that apology. I know most of you don't know that, but yes, Yvonne Jegede is a very good friend to Mercy, and Mercy has pushed her. You have to go apologize, because I know how much I'm catering for my kids, and if my husband do that to me, like, I'm going to be finished. It's going to be so, so, so bad with me. So I can't just imagine you saying that about another woman that have suffered so much. Like my own marriage, Mercy Johnson said, is just like how many years old? She has suffered in her marriage for 18 years. And the reward she got is what you are seeing online. So she made her apologize to Queen May, and Yvonne actually did that. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you do subscribe, tune in, and stay glued, because we'll be bringing you more updates. Thank you so much. Bye.